like you told me. Smell bad.
For Hoggle's turn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to not move at all, and I'm going to roll a green die, and I have to get a 4 or higher so that I can regain a willpower. So let's see what happens. Ooh. So Hoggle stays, and you don't get a willpower. That sucks. So it's Sir Didymus' turn. So Sir Didymus, what shall you do?
I'm gonna roll a red die to try and meet up with Sarah and Hoggle.
Okay, so go ahead and roll it. That was a really loud roll.
And I got a 1. So I'll meet up with them.
Nice. So,
Yay!
so she is going to move here.
However, because I have this card, Sarah immediately has to test her wit versus 1 blue die.
Oh, darn!
Okay. Okay, so I just have to let everybody know that we kind of, Katie rolled off camera and we tried to fudge it a bit because I just rolled a black die, but she did roll a 1 before I recorded. So we're not cheating, but I want to be honest there. So again, you can tell the difference in the sound between that one and that one. But Katie did roll a 1 and she moved over here. So again, we're keeping honest here. We got to keep on the level. So then Katie had that card about with Sarah. So can you read that one more time, please, Katie?
So when I'm on the same space as Sarah, I have to she has to immediately test wit versus a blue die. And she can't do the test as a group. She has to do it on her own.
And what's the succeed?
She just has to beat whatever the blue die roll is.
And what if we fail or she fails?
If she fails, then discard this card, but Sarah loses 1 willpower and falls asleep.
Oh,
Darn.
lovely.
Okay.
All right, so.
So who's got the blue die?
Evil.
Evil.
Okay, let's do this.
What is it? 4? 4. All right, come on, higher than a 4. Yes.
Oh.
7.
Okay, so you did succeed. So what happens?
Discard this card.
Nice.
What?
So that card goes bye-bye into the discard, well, underneath the Labyrinth deck. Very, very lucky. Okay, so next is Ludo's turn. So Ludo, you are very close to the group. So what are you going to do?
I'm going to use a red die.
A red die. Let's see what you get.
2.
I got a 4.
You got a 4. All right, so let's move Ludo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and you land on a card, and it's the gloomy, scary forest.
I'm smelling bad.
Okay, so I just read the card to Thomas, and he's not very happy at all. So
No, I'm not.
the gloomy, scary forest. So each character on this space tests wit versus 1 purple die. You cannot test as a group. Success, leave this card on the space. If you fail, each character that fails loses 1 willpower and is moved to the bog of eternal stench. Smell bad. And leave this card on the space. So I get the purple die. I'm going to be the bad guy this time. And I get a 10. So what is your wit, Thomas?
I've only got the green
So
die.
there's no
Thank
way you can
Rob.
beat this, but you have a special ability on your card that you can help with this.
No, that's only for brawn, unfortunately.
Oh,
That it's not for wit.
so guess what happens?
I smell bad.
You smell bad. So you lose 1 willpower,
And I roll a 6.
and you go here. So because of that, you get a smell bad token. So this is the smell bad token, and lo and behold, the token has Ludo onto it. So what this means is that he is in the bog of eternal stench and he smells really bad. So what happens is us as a group, we can still try to ask for him to join the group if we land on his space. But we don't want to land on the bog of eternal space because all of us will get a smell bad token. But what happens is that for him, Ludo, to join our group, beside on the Bog of Eternal Stench, he has to roll a green die, which is a d6, and he has to get a 4 or higher. If he gets a 4 or higher, he can join our group and still stay smelly. But if he rolls lower than 4, he can't join us as a group. So again, as I said before earlier on in the game, is that it's best to be as a group before we get to the Goblin City to battle Jareth at the Goblin City. So right now, this is kind of like putting a wrench into our plan because Thomas smells really bad. Alright, so it's Sarah's turn. And Sarah, what you gonna do?
So I've decided I'm going to use a green die and roll to try and come over here to regain some willpower in the oubliette.
Alright, and the reason why Sarah's using a green die instead of her speed is because as a group, we have to choose to roll the lowest speed, which is obviously mine, Hoggle, because he's really slow, because he's very short legs. So she's going to roll, and we're going to try to make our way over to oubliette. Ooh, she gets a 1. So, all of us as a group move to fairies. Them darn fairies again! Jeez, so the fairy card says, test Braun versus 1 red die. Success. Leave this card in the space. And if we lose 1 willpower and leave this card in the space. So, we need somebody to be evil red, which would be Stinky over here. So, Stinky, roll the die. Let's see what happens.
I got a 2.
A 2. So all of us has to roll our brawn. Okay, so all of us are rolling brawn. So 1, 3, 4. And what did Stinky roll?
2.
A 2. So we, as a group, won.
Yay!
So therefore, this card just stays on the space and we stay where it is. No big deal. And we don't stink. Like Ludo. Ludo smell bad. Alright, so on to Jareth's turn. Now, the Goblin King is getting closer to winning the game, I think, because his evil henchman, or hench lady, has to move the clock. Tick tock, move the clock to 7. So again, we passed, well, we're kind of past the halfway mark by half because it's a 13-hour clock. What are we going to do? Are we going to succeed? Is Ludo gonna lose his stink and join the group and beat the Goblin King in the Goblin City? Or is the Goblin King going to win the game? Stay tuned and find out. Dun dun dun. Okay, so it's on the Hoggle's turn. So, Hoggle rolls a green die for his speed because he's the slowest out of the group. And I'm going to go this way towards the Bog of Eternal Stench. Hopefully we don't land on the Bog of Eternal Stench. And hopefully we don't land on the gloomy, scary forest, because I think that's what sent Ludo there. So, let's see what happens. 5.
Woohoo!
So, oops. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at that. Empty space. They're not sleeping. Let's see what happens here. Alright, so Hoggle drew the cleaners. With the cleaners, it says test speed versus 1 yellow die. Success is discard this card, which we need to do because the spaces are starting to get filled up. If we fail, lose 2 willpower and leave this card on the space. So, as a group, it don't say anything about, like that only we can't test as a group, so all of us are going to do it. But first, the cleaners, which is Stinky over here, has to roll the yellow die. So let's see there, Stinky. What are you going to roll?
5.
5. Alright, so all of us as a group gets to roll. We're going to roll right here. And see, 5, so, hey.
Yes.
11. Oh, the cleaners get cleaned out, and this card gets discarded.
Awesome.
Alright.
You might just know.
Okay, so it is Sir Didymus's turn. So what shall you do, Sir Didymus?
I'm gonna roll a 6-sided green die to try to avoid the Bog of Eternal Stench.
See?
2.
Oh my goodness.
We're serious.
Oh boy. That is very bad. So our nightmares have come to realization because all of us, because
No, I
we
don't
rolled a
want to.
2.
No.
Oh, I was there already. Oh, you stink, Ludo.
So all of us get a That Smells token, and we may be separating right now. This is very, very, very bad for us. Uh-oh. So it's getting really smelly here because all of us got a smell bad token. So it is Ludo's turn. So Ludo is going to roll to see if we can move as a group. Now, because we have a That Smells Bad token, he has to roll a green die, and he has to get a 4 or higher. So hopefully he gets a 4 or higher as a group. And again, we're kind of unsure about this. We're still new playing this game. But if he gets a 4 or higher to move as a group, I think maybe all of us should roll a green die afterwards, after Ludo goes, to see if we move as a group. So again, this could be just house rules that we're playing, or this could be the actual proper way to play this. We're not sure. Leave the comment below to let us know if we're playing it right, or if we just really smell really, really, really bad. Okay, Thomas, green die, 4 or higher. Let's do it, baby.
Here we go. 4.
4 or higher. Look at that. Nice.
Christy.
So, let's see if Sarah gets a 4 or higher.
Oh, please. Fuck.
1.
Fudge.
What were you gonna say there?
I stopped mid-word.
This is a
Fun.
G rating. Yeah, fun. That's right. Okay, so Hoggle is going to try. Yes, he goes with Ludo. Let's go, Sir Didymus. You're the fastest.
Nope.
And no.
No.
Okay, so Poison Love just kind of looked in the rule book. We did play that wrong. So when we land into the Bog of Eternal Stench, we have to roll to see if we fall in and get a Smell Bad token. So if we get a 2,
1 or 2.
1 or 2, we fall in and we get a Smell Bad token.
That includes him.
That includes, yes, alright, so you might not be stinky anymore. I'm sorry for calling you stinky. Okay, so let's all roll the green die to see if we get the Smell Bad token by rolling a 1 or 2. So, Stinky goes first. Or unstinky. Deodorant. Oh! God. Okay, where's the car? Oh, jeez, this is really bad.
I'm
He's
double
still
stinky.
stinky.
So,
now.
you are really stinky. Okay, so, your turn. So,
All
let's
right.
see if you fall in and get a Stinky Bad token.
5.
Okay, you don't get a Stinky Bad token.
Boom! Take it back! Take it back!
Okay, so Hoggle's turn. He smells really bad anyhow. So, oh, look at this! His is gone, and now it is Sir Didymus's. Oh, that was an evil angle. It's Sir Didymus. Okay, let's see if you get a roll of stinky bad. Oh, you smell bad too. So the two of you are stinky together. Okay, so Stinky One Eye. What he's going to do is he is going to roll the green die to see if when he moves, if he's going to move as part of a group. Because we are all together.
Yep.
And he rolls a 6. So he still stays stinky, but when he moves, we all move together unless Sir Didymus rolls less than a 4. So let's see. Oh, Sir Didymus rolls a 1.
Why?
What was that action there, Sir Didymus?
Do it again, do it
please,
again.
on camera. Oh my.
No.
That's the best though because
Yeah.
nobody
So,
wants to watch a perfect
If
game.
we are playing this correctly, when Ludo moves, all of us moves except for Sir Didymus because Ambrosius kind of made a little stinky. Or because Ambrosius is a dog and Sir Didymus is a fox. So either one of them or both of them made a stinky, but they smell bad. And Ludo smells bad too as well. But we're going to move as a group. So Ludo, it is your turn to move. So what are you going to do? Again, if we're going to move as a group, you have to roll the slowest, which will be
The green die.
green die. That's right.
So I think I want to try and get into an open space somewhere.
You have to move that way.
Yeah. Gotta move away from Jericho.
Okay.
And a 1.
A 1. Whoa, big move.
Woohoo!
No. Sir Didymus stays behind.
Oh, that's right.
Because he smells bad.
You guys suck.
Well, actually, so does Ludo, but...
And we draw a card.
It's okay. You know what?
Okay, so I picked up the Goblin. It says, test brawn versus 1 red die. Success, discard this card. Fail, lose 1 willpower and leave this card on the space.
Okay, so we have to test for brawn. So obviously the tank gets to roll a black die, and then my brawn is a yellow die, and Sarah's brawn is a green die. So we're going to the evil one
For the red die.
for the red die. So 4. So let's all roll here and see what happens. 7. We already beat it. 1. It don't make a difference. And 1. So the tank came through and beat the goblin. Okay, so we're on to Sarah's turn. So Sarah, what are you going to do?
Okay, so I'm going to roll a green die, and I'm going to try and come this way, hoping to maybe get us to the oubliette to gain back some willpower. You know? Because I'm running out of will.
Oubliette is if we land on this one that has a card already, which is Helping Hands. So let's see what you roll.
5.
5. Oh, there's the 5. Geez, I'm bad at moving the camera around.
3, 4, 5.
Empty space. That's not bad though, because we may have the
tripped.
entrance to the Goblin City. So let's see what happens.
So I got the Goblin Knight. Choose to face him. Test 1 brawn versus 1 purple die, or avoid him. Test speed versus 1 yellow die. Success, discard this card. Fail, lose 1 willpower and leave this card on the space. So my brawn is a green.
Wait, I have to.
So you're going to choose to fight against the brawn?
Yeah.
Alright, so
Because we have the tank. Go
the
Ludo!
evil goblin rolls first.
4.
4. So we all get to roll our brawn. So let's roll it here again in the center board. Let's see what happens. We got to beat a 4. That's 2. That's a 7. So it don't matter what I roll, but I get a 7 anyhow.
Yay.
So we discard the card and we successfully beat the evil goblin. Oh, that's a goblin evil. Look at that. Oh. And it's on to Jarrett's turn. So then Jarrett's minion, evil, gets to change the clock. Tick tock, the clock goes ahead to number 8. So again, we are getting a lot closer. And just to recap, we do have a lot more empty spaces on the board, as you can see, but yet we're not even close to the Goblin City. Will we succeed? What do you think?
Hope so.
Wait. Good one.
I hope so.
Okay.
It's gonna be close.
Gonna be close?
Yeah.
I'm just really excited to beat these guys.
Oh, yes. Well, I think because we are on turn 8, we will kick Jarrett's butt all the way to Goblin City. Oh, yeah. Giggity, giggity. Okay, so it's Hoggle's turn. So what we're going to do is we can't move this way because Jarrett is really close to us. He's on our heels. So we're going to roll this way, and I'm going to choose the red die. Hopefully we're not going to go into the bog of eternal stench. So let's see what happens with Hoggle. 4. And that means
You've got to be kidding
we
me.
go stinky stinky.
No, we have to roll.
I know,
One,
but
two,
still,
three,
it's stinky
4.
stinky.
Hi guys, what's up?
So
How's it going?
we went into the bog of eternal stench. Now you have a stinky token already, so you cannot do any. You can't get another stinky token. But Sarah and Hoggle may fall in if we get a 1 or a 2.
Yeah.
So green die, Sarah.
Come on, let me not stink. No!
Oh, sorry, that was a 2. Yeah, you stink.
Sad face.
So, see this? That goes to you, Sarah. So let's see, Hoggle. Come on, Hoggle, you don't want to stink. A 5! Yes! Ah! You don't stink, Hoggle. You're good. So we're on to Sir Didymus's turn, and after careful consideration, Katie, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna roll to go on my own.
because you don't want to just keep going with the stink. I'm the only like non-smelling one in the group here. All right, so what are you gonna roll?
A red die.
Red die, and let's see what you get.
And I'm gonna go that way.
2. All right, so empty space.
So place Jareth on this space, which we've done.
Jared appears. Look at that, just right away. Bing.
Test wit versus 1 blue die.
Okay, and wit. How many sided die is your wit?
8.
8, and blue is a 20. Okay, so
Good
bad guy
luck.
goes first. Gulp. That's a 9. That's not bad, but what do you have?
8-sided
An
die.
8. So you can sell one of your willpower to roll a black die, which is a D 10 or 12.
No, that's okay. I'm just gonna roll it, go 3, and then I failed, so I discard this card and I move to the bottom. Eternal stench.
Oh, so and you're already
Welcome
stinky.
back.
I'm already
anyhow.
stinky.
So you don't even have to roll to see if you fall in or not, because you know what? You
You're
smell
already
anyhow.
smelly.
Yep.
Okay, next. Okay, so next up is Ludo, and because Ludo has a smell bad token, he has to roll a green die, and he has to get a 4 or higher to move as a group. And then, in turn, everybody that wants to move with him has to roll a green die and get a 4 or higher. So, Smelly Bad rolls his green die.
I got a
A
5.
5, yes, so he gets a group, go with the group.
Yeah.
So, now Sarah, let's see if you stop stinking.
Oh, come on. Yes.
6.
Woot
Yes.
woot.
Oh, jeez, I didn't even.
Does that take away my
stink?
stink? Or does that mean I can move as a group?
That's okay. So now,
Group it
because Katie, the evil queen, has left us, unfortunately, Thomas has taken over her Sir Didymus. So Sir Didymus, because he got a stink too as well, he's got to roll a 4 higher. He gets a 1. So Sir Didymus cannot travel as a group, but all the rest of us can. So, Ludo, where are you going to go?
We are going to head back away from Jareth.
Yes, 'cause
Yes.
we cannot move anywhere near Jareth, the Goblin King, because he will gobble us up and turn us into goblins.
So I'm going to use a green die since we're all together. 2.
2 spaces, and we get an empty space. I'm smelling the goblin entrance to the Goblin City coming up.
Okay, so I got It Keeps Changing. Discard this card, and if there are any other cards on the board, move the card that is on the nearest space to this space. Then follow the instructions on that card. If there are 2 cards in the same distance away, pick one at random. So we've got Helping Hands,
Yay.
which the player who go it is choose odds up or evens down. Then roll 1 blue die. If you roll what you choose, leave this card on the space. Otherwise, leave this card on the space, and all characters on the space lose 1 willpower and are moved to the oubliette.
Oh, okay,
So
so
we'll slide that underneath.
there's the blue die. So, Thomas, odds or even?
You know what? I'm gonna go odds.
Odds? I think you should have went to evens.
We'll see.
Okay, roll it, see what happens. What was that?
2.
Oh,
So an even.
which isn't even. So we all go to oubliette.
Are we
That's all right.
sleeping?
So all of us go
Yes,
there,
we all-
and
we
we
lose
are
a willpower.
sleeping. And we lose a willpower.
But then we'll gain it back.
So, just to go back here, Hoggle is down to 1 willpower. So Ludo
Down to 2.
is down to 2, and Sarah is down to 2. Now, Sir Didymus wasn't with the group because he stunk really bad. So he don't lose any of his willpower. So we are sleeping right
Yeah.
now. So that means
That it's mine.
that it is Sarah's turn, but all Sarah does is stand up.
If she can. She's a little dizzy there.
So since she stands up, she don't have to roll a green die. She automatically regains a willpower because she's an oubliette. So after that, it is none other than the Goblin King's turn. The Goblin King advances the clock. Tick tock, advance the clock. to number 9. So that means we only have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 turns left to get to the Goblin City and face off against the Goblin King. If we don't succeed, poor Toby is turned into a goblin. Thank you, Sarah, very much. So it's on the Hoggle's turn, and Hoggle's at the oubliette, so he just simply stands up and he grabs a willpower and he places it. So he's back up to 2. So it's on to Sir Didymus's turn, which he's in a bog of eternal stench. What shall Sir Didymus do?
Well, he's gonna.
So Sir Didymus looks like he's facing off against the Goblin King. But what is Sir Didymus going to do?
Run away!
Run away! He's very fast. Black die, and he gets a 5. Oh.
False alarms.
False alarms.
Okay, so I got false alarms. Test wit versus 1 red die. Success, leave this card on the space. Fail, lose 1 willpower and leave the card on the space.
Alright, so... Ooh, poison is going to give you some poison. Not love. A 2. A 2. Alright, see what happens, Thomas?
I got a 6.
Oh, you kicked the pants off of poison. Alright, so on to Ludo's turn. Ludo was sleeping in the oubliette. He stands up. And he also gains his willpower back. And that is the end of Ludo's turn. Okay, so Sarah's turn. And we are going as a group. So because of that, we have to go with Hoggle Speed because he is the slowest character, which is a green die, a D6.
Yeah, and we're gonna go this way because it's all open, and we need to find the gates to the Goblin City.
Yes.
But first,
We need to roll to see if we move as a group. We
Do
all
we have to do-
smell.
Oh, that's right. So
I got Junkyard. Test wit versus 1 purple die. Success, leave this card on the space. Fail, lose 1 willpower and leave this card on the space. So, purple die.
okay,
Yeah.
so Thomas is going to do the evil roll. Evil shot. Let's see what happens.
Got
And
a
a
6.
6. Okay, so us as a group gets to roll our wit against. So, okay, so for a wit, what does Ludo have?
I got the yellow die.
Yellow, purple, and
Black.
black. So let's see what happens.
8.
I got a 6.
And a 7. Regardless, we don't even
Yeah.
need our cards.
We kicked the cans out of that junkyard. So guess what? It's on to Sarah's turn.
That was Sarah's turn.
Oh,
Hoggle's
okay.
turn.
Jared.
No, Jareth's
Oh,
turn.
okay, so it's on to Jareth. I was trying to be cool there, but obviously it didn't work. So Jareth, the Goblin King, it's his turn. Okay, so the Goblin King gets to advance the clock 1 hour. Uh-oh. So we're on 10 now. We gotta hit that Goblin City entrance card soon, I hope, because you know what? We're getting our asses handed to us. Okay, so it's Hoggle's turn. So what he is going to do is he's going to choose to roll a slower die speed, which is the red die. And we're going to move this way towards Sir Didymus, because if we move this way and we land on oubliette, what's going to happen is we're going to go to sleep. We may gain 1 willpower, but we're going to lose a turn, which means that the Goblin Clock is going to advance further. So we're going to choose the red die, and we're going to roll to see what happens again, which is a 4. And because Sarah and Ludo has a smell bad token, each have to roll to see if we move as a group. So Sarah's going to roll first to see what she gets.
4.
4, so she gets to move as a group. So Ludo, let's see what you get.
A 1.
A 1. So Ludo stays behind, but Sarah can choose to go.
4?
Yes, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Alrighty.
Grab
So
it.
now we need, hopefully it's going to be the entrance to the Goblin City. Alright, so Hoggle drew the card that says Jared appears, upping the stakes. So place Jareth on the space, test wit versus 1 blue die. If we succeed, we discard this card. But if we fail, it's going to be really bad because we're so close to getting to the 13th hour. Discard this card. Move the hand of the Goblin clock 1 hour forward, and only 1 hour regardless of the number of characters on the space. Okay, so this can be really, really bad. So Hoggle and Sarah is going to battle wits against Jareth. Let's see what happens. So Jareth gets a blue die, which is a D20. So you better not roll a natural 20. Let's see what happens. 12. Oh boy. Oh boy.
My witch is a purple and it only goes.
Alright, so Hoggle and Sarah are going to go against the 12 that Jareth rolled. So let's see what happens.
Alright, come on, wit!
So either way, she's not going to get it. But Hoggle's ability, he's really smart, so he can roll a 12 at least to tie Jareth. Let's see what happens. 7. He fails, but Hoggle laughs. Because he has the worm. And what the worm is, it says, discard this card and roll an extra blue die for a failed wit test without losing a willpower token. So guess what? This goes, the worm goes, and let's see if he's going to get 12 or higher. Oh boy. I don't want to roll this. I really don't want to roll this because if we... That didn't count.
That was a drop, not a roll.
If we fail,
The hour
clock
goes
goes
up.
ahead one. Oh well. Let's see what happens. 10.
No!
Uh-oh. So, because of that, what happens is that Jareth, we have to discard the card and we have to advance the clock 1 hour forward.
Sad face.
We're at the 11th hour of 13. So we just had a little bit of a debate here. So with this card, Jareth appears upping the stakes. In brackets, you notice it says on here that, and only 1 hour regardless of the number of characters on the space. So that's starting to, the wheels to turn in our brains to think that if we failed other tests and we had more than one character on the space, shouldn't we have moved the clock that many ahead per character? So I'm not sure if we played this right or not. We're just going to check the rule book on that to see what it says. If not, and if anybody played this, and if we played this part wrong, again, please comment below so that we know what we're doing for the next gameplay. Again, first time playing it, we could get this all wrong. This whole game could be wrongly played. So just, you know, let us know what you think. Let us know if you played it before and if the rules are correct that we played by or incorrect. If not, we're going by house rules. Okay, so it is Sir Didymus's turn, and the thing is Sir Didymus, he can't move forward because Jareth is right there, so Sir Didymus has to move back this way and hopefully not land on the Bog of Eternal Stench. But the thing is Sir Didymus already stinks, so it's not really going to make a big difference for him. So Sir Didymus, what are you going to do?
I'm going to use the black die and try and move as far as I can. Hopefully
Alright.
get a clear space.
And you roll
11.
an 11. Oh, that's actually a pretty good roll.
He is really fast.
He is. Because of Ambrosius. So
Fieries?
Fiery
Yep.
camp again. Okay, so we know what happens here. Let's see what the outcome is. So at the fiery camp, it's speed versus one purple die. I'm going to do the bad guy this time. So let's see. Sir Didymus is really fast, so he should be able to beat this easy. So 4 for the bad fiery guy. So let's see what happens. 5. Oh, by 1. That is lucky. So because he succeeded, it said here is that success, leave this card on the space. So again, we cannot remove this card from the space, but it stays there and nothing really bad happens to Sir Didymus, but he still stinks.
I gotta go back out anyways.
So it's Ludo's turn, and Thomas is going to use the
Red die.
red die, and you're going to go back towards the oubliette.
Yep.
All right, so let's see what happens there.
1.
1. So Ludo moves 1 space, but it's an empty space, so he may possibly draw the Goblin City. But
Yeah.
by the huff in Thomas's breath, it means that Jareth appears probably.
Nope. Get the sleepy Goblin Guard. Choose to sneak past. Test speed versus 1 die, or face him. Test brawn versus 1 yellow die. Success, discard this card. Fail, lose 1 willpower and leave this card on the space.
Oh, so you are Ludo, and Ludo is a tank, so I'm thinking you should probably take him with the brawn.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Using the black die.
All right, so we're gonna roll for the bad guy first. So let's
I get to be
see
the bad guy.
what we have here.
8.
8.
Oh, 1. Critical fail.
Oh wait, no, I'm not supposed to be happy about that.
But you can sell one of your willpower to roll the blue die,
Yes,
or is
I
it
can.
the black die?
It's the black die.
The black die,
Yeah.
so you can re-roll it, more or less. So you're gonna sell one of your willpowers.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell one of my willpowers.
All right. Well, let's see what happens.
No.
5. So you still fail. You can also sell another willpower if you want to keep going.
Yeah, but
But
then
you're
I'm-
running out of will.
Yeah. What?
So
I'll
what's
just
the
end up in the
fail
oubliette.
on that card?
The fail on this card is I lose 1 willpower with that regardless.
Ooh,
So, if I try again,
you're
I
dead.
possibly die.
So what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try for it.
You're gonna just go for all your marbles?
Gonna have to. I'm just gonna end up in the oubliette again.
Yep.
Nope.
So
Dum dum dum.
So, trapdoor opens, Ludo falls down and goes to sleep in the oubliette. Alright, so again, the trapdoor's open and the footing is gone from Ludo. He falls through and lands in the oubliette where he goes and takes a dirt nap. Not permanently, but he goes to sleep until next turn where he can awake and gain 1 willpower. And now it's Sarah's turn. So what is Sarah going to do?
Sarah is going to roll a red die and try to move it that way away from Jareth.
Alright, so let's see if Sarah's going to successfully... 3.
Are you coming with me?
Oh, of course I am.
Alright.
Alright, empty space. Goblin City, here we come, and... No. Darn it.
Magic dance! Dance, magic dance. I love that song.
Okay. Okay, so Sarah drew a card, and the card says, Jareth appears. So Jareth is in the space with Hoggle and Sarah. And this says, place Jareth on this space. Give this card to another player, which you have done. Who will read Jareth's part? You and you alone must answer correctly off by heart. So again, this here is a very distinctive, very memorable lines from the movie. So let's see if Sarah gets it right. So Jareth says, you remind me of the babe.
What babe?
Babe with the power.
What power?
Power of voodoo.
Hoodoo?
You do.
Do what?
Remind me of the babe. Ding, 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 ding. Success. Discard this card. If she failed, she would have to discard this card and lose 1 willpower alone. So therefore, you succeeded. So this just gets discarded and the spot stays open. That was really good. That is one of the most famous quotes from the movie. You remind me of the babe. Okay, now we're on to Jareth's turn. So we advance the clock again to 12. So, because it's a goblin clock, we still have 1 more turn. This is looking really bad for our heroes because there's a couple of empty spaces left.
Poor Toby.
And we only have 1 round left to try to get the Goblin City and take on the Goblin King. Do you think we're going to do it? It's hard to say. I would say stay tuned and watch out. I'll watch to find out. Okay, so we're on to Hoggle's turn. So again, it's only one round left. So Hoggle is deciding to go this way. Hopefully not to land on Oubliette, but land on an empty space. Because if we go this way, that way don't look too bad too as well. But you know what? We're on the last round, so Hoggle's going to roll his speed die, and we're going to go that way. Let's see what happens. Ooh, a 6. So Hoggle
Ooh, I wanna
moves,
roll
but
to
before
see.
Hoggle moves, Sarah wants to try to join. She got the stink token, so she gets a 4. So she gets to move with us. So Hoggle and Sarah move number 6, which is an empty spot. And I'm smelling the Goblin City entrance.
Are you
So
sure
let's
that's what you're smelling?
see- Oh, yes, that's right. Maybe it's just Sarah because she stinks. Okay, so the card that Hoggle drew is Doors of the Four Guards. Test wit versus 1 black die. Success. Leave this card on the space. If you fail, you lose 1 willpower and leave this card on the space. So, just to recap, Hoggle has 2 willpower left. He could have just stopped and just slept for the last turn. But you know what? We're on the last round. It's all or nothing. Sarah has 3 willpower left. So do you know what? We are going to try to take on the Doors of the Four Guards. And let's see what happens. The Four Guards is going to go first, which is Thomas. He rolls a black die. 1. Oh, thank you very much, Thomas. That was awesome. So now, Sarah and I get to roll our wit. So, Hoggle's wit is black die. Well, you know what? Even if we get a 1, we still win. But we're still going to just, because it's the last round, let's just roll. And what die are you rolling?
Purple.
Purple. So let's roll right here and see what happens. 1 and
4.
4. You saved us. You saved us.
Yay!
So, because he succeeded, it said here is that success, leave this card on the space. So again, we cannot remove this card from the space, but it stays there and nothing really bad happens to Sir Didymus, but he still stinks. No, my correction. It is not Sarah's turn, it is Ludo's turn. So Ludo is going to stand up because he's in the oubliette, and he also gains a willpower back. So now it's on to Sarah's turn. So this is all or nothing because we are on the 13th round here.
Okay.
We're coming up to the 13th round.
So, we need to find it. So we need some open spaces. I'm coming this way, and if we land in that oubliette, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but I think this game is just...
I'm going to roll the orange or the red die.
Sarah don't want to accept defeat, but you know what? That's
I don't
fine.
want to.
But just remember one thing, though, Sarah. It is your fault we're here in the first place because you gave up Toby.
It's not there.
Toby, look at him.
I'm sorry,
He's so cute.
Toby. 3.
3.
Are you coming with me?
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, please be the Goblin Gates. You've got to be kidding me.
No Goblin City?
Jared appears.
What?
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
Okay, Jareth.
Jareth
goes
appears.
Here.
Okay, so piece of cake. Jareth appears. Test wit versus 1 blue die. Success, discard this card. Fail. Oh no, the cleaners. Test speed versus 1 yellow die. Success of that roll, discard the card. Fail. Discard this card and lose 2 willpower.
Oh boy.
That could kill you.
Yes. Well, not technically kill me. I'll just go to oubliette and go to sleep.
Right.
All right. So Jareth is going to roll his blue die, which is a d20 first. So if you get higher than 12, we're screwed.
Got a 6.
6. Okay. You're still in the game, kind of.
Still in the
Okay,
game.
so
My
wit
fifth.
is black, and what do you have?
Purple.
Purple. So let's roll it in Goblin City and see what happens.
Ooh.
2, 5.
Wait. I know it's the last round and all, but I want to use my card. So, once per game, you can discard this card and roll an extra blue die for a failed wit test. Without losing willpower.
4.
I give up.
Wait. I'm
gonna
going
do
to
it?
sell mine. I get to roll an extra blue die for a failed brawn or wit test. So do you know what? I'm going to do this. And what do we have to beat again?
It was a 6.
A measly little freaking 6.
Wait, what was the one that I just rolled then?
4.
Okay,
4.
never mind.
Okay, let's go there, Hoggle. What the hell?
Don't.
I'm not giving up yet because I'm going to sell my willpower.
Wait, don't do that just yet. Because a fail. Oh no, the cleaners.
That's right.
Test speed versus yellow.
No, this is all or nothing. I'm taking my willpower and I'm selling it to beat a measly little freaking 6.
Okay, go.
What the hell?
Okay, so now we have to test speed.
I think you should sell willpower and see if you can beat it.
Fine. Willpower.
It's all or
so-
nothing. We're done,
Come
sir.
on,
Let's go.
7. Yes.
You called it.
It was a 7. So guess what? What happens since we finally succeeded?
Discard this card. Seriously, that's it.
Holy smokes.
Oh,
1
man.
willpower left.
Oh,
2 willpower
man.
left.
And
1 willpower and 3 in a stink. Okay, so now, guess whose turn it is?
Jareth.
And guess what happens? Can we take the Goblin King now and put him on the clock?
Dun, dun, dun.
And we advance the clock to 13. Does that mean he wins?
Yes, it does.
Sadly.
Or does it mean we have one last round?
Ooh.
Let's check the rule book, but I think we're done.
I'm pretty sure it's when the clock hits 13, we're done.
Let's just refer to the rule book. Stand by. So, after reading the instructions, it's saying that we apparently have one more turn because we are on the 13th hour. So, I'm still thinking we're not going to win this because even if we get the Goblin City, we still have to go through 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 bad guys. And then we have to come up against the Goblin King. So I think it's pretty safe to say that the Goblin King kicked our butts.
Yeah. Sorry, Toby.
So Toby, sweet little Toby, is not going to be sweet anymore because he's going to turn into a goblin. And the Goblin King just kicked our butts. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to have a little talk about the game, our thoughts. You know, if we thought it played out well, or if, it was too simplistic, or what have you. So just stand by, we'll just do a little post-game review, and we'll go from there. In case anybody is wondering, now, I didn't fiddle around with the deck. This is pretty much the stack that we played right here. So, we never found the entrance to the Goblin City, but just wondering how much further we had to go before finding the entrance of the Goblin City. So apparently the next card that we would have flipped over would have been the entrance to the Goblin City. We would have went to the Goblin City. We had to fight the big guy that was attached to the Goblin City gates. Humongous, I think his name is. And then we would have had to fight, I think it's the artillery, I can't say that word, and the more goblin guards and the cavalry too as well before we got to fight the Goblin King. So again, we had one more card to flip over, but we didn't make it there at all. So yeah, so what we're going to do now is going to set the camera up. There's going to be 3 of us sitting down. We're going to talk about the game, our thoughts about it, how it played through, if we found it, very enjoyable, or if there could have been stuff that could have been better and so forth. So just hang on, stand by. We're going to go over a post-game chat, and we'll go from there. Alright, so Another quick thing too as well that I just want to add more content to this video is that the painting of the miniatures that I did. So you can see Ludo right here. You can also see Hoggle, Sarah, the Goblin King, and Sir Didymus. So how I painted these is I found an online tutorial that I thought was incredible using all Citadel paints, and it was pretty step by step, and it was from Troubadour Tabletop, I think it's called, or Tabletop Troubadour, sorry I said it backwards. And what he did, it's Johnny, and in his tutorial he explained all about how he painted each one of these. It's kind of done in a different way as opposed to when you're recording other painting tutorials where it shows step by step. He pretty much just shows in one video how he paints all 5 of the miniatures all at once, and it's really good because he always uses, in the video he used Citadel paint. So again, it's very common paint for painting miniatures, and he goes like, he breaks it up in stages. So again, if you're interested in painting any of these miniatures, like Sarah and the Goblin King and so forth too as well, what you can do is you can go to Tabletop Troubadour, and you can look up Johnny's painting onto it. He actually was the main sculptor from Wedded Workshop, and he was responsible to sculpt all of these too as well. It's a great learning tutorial on how to paint them, so if you do buy the game and you want to paint these miniatures, by all means look them up on YouTube, and you'll be able to be painting them and looking really good to play your game. Alright, you board game maniacs, you've seen the unboxing video, you've seen the gameplay video. So this is just like a post-game chat to talk about, you know, what we thought was great about the game, what we thought was, you know, okay and so forth. So all in all, my personal opinions first is I thought that the game was very enjoyable. It was very easy to pick up and very easy to play. So I don't see any big issue with playing this with smaller children. So if you have any child or children that want to play the game, you want to pass a rainy day or a Sunday or a Saturday, what have you, Labyrinth board game would be a great game to play with your children because they'd pick it up pretty quick. It's only 5 miniatures, and you can play the game very, very easy. It's very enjoyable. Again, I had so much fun, but I may be very biased though because I love the movie, and again, it's based off of Jim Henson's movie from 1986. So, you know, again, what did you think about it, Poison?
Honestly, I love the game, okay? So I very much enjoyed it. Okay, so the movie brings back great memories from my childhood. So the board game, I couldn't wait to unbox it. I've been looking at it and I couldn't wait to play it. So the gameplay was very simple, very easy to get. I mean, I had no problems with it. The only thing I wish was that it was a little simpler to find that Goblin Gate, right? I really want to play the Goblin City, so we're going to have to play this game again.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Alright, so Thomas, what do you think of it?
I love the game. It was a lot of fun to play, very, very easy, and like you did an awesome job on the miniatures. Those look amazing.
Yeah, you did.
And yeah, again, like Rob said, like that, it's good for kids, like that, very easy to follow, like that, and like it's just great. Like that, I'm definitely looking forward to play it again.
Yeah, again, just a big shout out to Tabletop Troubadour, because again, I followed the online tutorial on how to paint these. Very simple. The miniatures are super detailed, and when you do some nice dry brushing on them, like Ludo here, you know, it really makes everything pop. So, any negative thoughts about the game? I would say there's not a lot of negative thoughts for me again, but I'm very biased. The only thing that I would say is it was a challenging game, even though it was very simplistic in the way you play it. But maybe a little more challenging, but we never played with the condition cards too as well. Even though we lost and the game kicked our ass for sure.
Definitely.
But all in all, like from researching this game online, I found that it had a lot of negative reviews, as in the gameplay, the mechanics, and everything for it. But honestly, judging from Thomas and Christy and I's playthrough, we never found that much problems with the mechanics. Again, it was the first game we played. We had to look through the rule book a couple of times, but the rule book is very small. Not like other board games that have like 50 some pages to it.
This one's like 10 pages, and it's very like detailed as to what's happening. I mean, the only thing any questions we had were in the book, really.
Yep. Easy enough to find.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing that I thought was a big benefit plus to it was that it brought you back to that movie because of the characters and also the movie quotes into it too as well.
Big power.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The power of voodoo.
So as you've seen on the videos too as well is I flipped over the last card. Even though we finished the game, the next card that I flipped over was the Gates to the Goblin City.
Just wish it would have come up sooner.
Exactly. So if we did have more time and we had more hours on the Goblin clock, we would have had to face like the cavalry, the infantry, and Humongous, I think is the big guy.
There's one more in there too.
Yeah, too as well. And on top of the other person that I can't remember, other group that we had to play, the infantry, the cavalry, Humongous, and...
Where's the book?
I'm trying to think, isn't it cannonade? Could be wrong.
That's what, artillery.
Artillery.
That's what it was.
Yep.
So, when you got through that, you had to fight the Goblin King. And the other thing about the Goblin King is at the end, you guys didn't realize this, but with the Goblin King at the end, when you beat him physically, you have to memorize a quote that Sarah did at the very end of the movie. And then you have to read it back. And if you were incorrect by memorizing it and reading it back, even though you physically beat the Goblin King, he still kicked your arse.
Power over me.
Yeah.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's that quote. So again, out of 10, I would probably give this gameplay probably about an 8. Between a 7.5 to an 8 for myself, because I really enjoyed it. But again, it could be very biased because I love the movie. David Bowie, Sarah Connolly, I think her last name is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, like it's just Jim Henson studio, phenomenal. What a workshop with the sculpting too as well. Any other final thoughts, guys?
Honestly, play it. It's a lot of fun.
I suggest playing it. And definitely watch the movie if you haven't.
Yes, actually, speaking of the movie, there was just a Blu-ray DVD that was just released recently within the last month.
Nice.
So, if you have a Blu-ray player, definitely get the Blu-ray copy because it has a lot of special features behind the scenes, and it talks about how they create each of the characters and what the actors had to go through as a character, as well as again with David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly as Sarah, and so forth too as well. So again, if you've never seen the movie, we definitely recommend to go see the movie. It's Blu-ray quality, so it may be from 1986, but it looks like you're watching a most recent movie of all. So again,
Awesome.
incredible movie, incredible game. Again, not really many negative thoughts here too as well. There's supposed to be an expansion. It's supposed to be goblins that you can get to as well for miniatures, and adds a little bit more to the gameplay. I'm going to look into it, see if we can find it. And if we find it, we're definitely going to be doing a game plan to it for sure.
Excitement.
Definitely.
So until next time, stay tuned, watch our other battle reports, watch other gameplay or other unboxing videos, and remember, be a maniac with BoardGameManiacs.
See you guys later.
Bye.